What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, it is my first time finishing GTA Vice City Definitive Edition. Going through the GTA backlog, continuing on the journey. I did GTA 3 last year, we'll talk about that in a second. I want to get through all of the main GTA games before GTA 6 comes out, and it's looking pretty good for it to hit that release date that it's set for, barring any crazy delay, which could always happen with GTA 6. But now, after GTA 3, we're here in GTA Vice City, which is the perfect game to play before GTA 6, seeing as that game is going back to Vice City as well. I was very excited to continue on through the journey, get through Vice City, and then afterwards we'll go through San Andreas and GTA 4, but now we're here at GTA Vice City and have a lot of things to say about the definitive version of the game, the definitive edition. This is the one that released as the trilogy back in 2021 that was super broken at launch, and now they've gone and fixed it. And I did the same thing with GTA 3. I played the definitive edition of that. So I'm not playing the original, I'm playing the remaster that came out a couple years ago. I want to make sure I make that clear. This is not me playing the original game, this is me playing the definitive edition of GTA Vice City. So without further ado, let's dive in. I'm going to structure this video very similarly to my GTA 3 video, so basically hit on pretty much all the same topics I hit on in that video. So we're going to start with my background with GTA, so you know where I'm coming from with my thoughts on the series. So the only two GTA games that I've finished as of right now are GTA 5 and GTA 3. GTA 5 was the first one that I finished. I've had that one finished for a long time. Played through that when I was younger, and obviously just like everybody else, I've played through this game multiple times. Bought it on multiple different platforms. I've played GTA 5 to death, just like everyone else has. Since we've been waiting for GTA 6, the game's been out for 13 years. Everyone's put so much time into GTA 5. But I still really do enjoy that single player campaign with the three different protagonists, the setting of Los Santos, and the story that you experience. I think it's a really good single player experience. And then more recently, I think in the middle of last year, so almost a year ago, went through and did GTA 3 for the first time. And that really opened my eyes. The start of the 3D games. It was really the big first 3D open world experience that kind of set the genre off. We didn't really see games like we do now, where there's a bunch of 3D open world games all over the place. They come out all the time, and they're 30, 40, 50 hours long with crazy good stories and side quests. GTA 3 was the first game to put you in a 3D open world and let you just do whatever you want. And for it being the game to set that off, I have a lot of respect for it. And even going back and playing it, there were some things that I do mention in the video that's on the channel. I do have a video of my first time finishing GTA 3, so I'll be a lot more brief here, but I have a video already up on the channel about it. There were some things that aged very well with the game and some things that did not. Some things that aged very well were the city itself, the atmosphere, the way that the map is designed. The AI is a lot of fun. For the most part, I mean, in the city, they're a lot of fun to, listen in on conversations, and the way that they drive on the road is like reckless, but it kind of fits in with the vibe of Liberty City, it being a fictional version of New York City. And the radios, the soundtrack wasn't one that, it's very subjective because it's all licensed music, and even then, music is still subjective. There weren't really any songs on that soundtrack itself that, I know just even before playing the game, but there were still some good songs in that game, and the radios and the commercials were hilarious and well written. I had a lot of fun with GTA 3 in some ways, but then there were some other ways, like the story wasn't all that great. You had a silent protagonist, the story was just kind of whatever. The mission design, very, very dated, I'd say. So there were some definitely hit and miss things with GTA 3, but overall I look back on it and I think, wow, I would love to go back just every once in a while and just drive around in Liberty City, because it did such a fantastic job of making that city and that world feel lived in, and it immerses you in a great way. So I look back on GTA 3 more fondly than going back and remembering all the things that I wasn't a big fan of. But GTA 3 was what set this franchise off. You had the first two games, which were the top-down games, and people like those. I don't really have an interest in going back to those, but GTA 3 was the first big 3D game. So we go GTA 3 into Vice City. How have things changed? Have things stayed the same? Let's dive in and talk about Vice City. The first thing I want to touch on with Vice City is the open world and the setting. A big change in just the atmosphere and feel and vibe of the setting, going from GTA 3 with Liberty City to Vice City. And if you don't know, Vice City is based on Miami. It's completely different when it comes to the setting. Instead of, a kind of almost dark and dreary atmosphere somewhat with Liberty City, there's a lot of, it's supposed to feel like that, but it's also, the city's super busy, and there's a lot of things happening all at once. Cars driving down the road, people walking down the sidewalks, NPCs interacting with each other, having conversations on the street. It's very crazy and hectic in New York City, which is what you would expect from a game that's trying to represent that setting. But Vice City is completely different. This game is beautiful and vibrant. Even with the definitive edition, I would assume Vice City originally, I've seen gameplay of it for the time. It came out in 2002. It still looks great for that time. They did such a great job of capturing the aesthetic of mid-80s Miami. I love the setting in this game. Vice City is fantastic. Palm trees all over the place. The beaches and the cars, the way that people were dressed, just everything that went into the setting when it comes to the way the game looks, the way that NPCs are dressed, the way that you can, change outfits as Tommy into a lot of different outfits that fit the Vice City aesthetic. All the cars fit the aesthetic. Just the way that the game does such a great job of, again, just like GTA 3 did, it did a fantastic job of immersing you in this setting. And somehow they're able to, and GTA 3 was the same way. By the end of that game, I knew the map well enough to get to locations without having to use the GPS or the waypoints or the map. Same thing in Vice City. You come to recognize landmarks, and the way that the map is laid out is fantastic. I don't know exactly off the top of my head if I'm sure it's a bigger map than 3, but then I look ahead a little bit at San Andreas, and that just blows up with the map size. But the map is great at making areas feel distinct and unique from one another. You have Starfish Island in the middle of the map, and that's where the estate is, but then you can go left or right from that, and there's just so many notable locations. And by the end of the game, you're able to, at least I was able to, get to locations and get to places without needing the map. You just know where you are by landmarks, just like how I do it in real life. I know where I am just based on what I'm seeing. And even when you enter a new location in the bottom right, it still pops up what location you're in. You know where you are. It does a fantastic job of giving you a great map that you come to recognize, and you memorize the map. And the setting itself, Vice City, I really enjoyed Liberty City and GTA 3, and like I said, I would still go back and just drive around the city and listen to NPC conversations and just feel the immersion and the vibe of Liberty City. But Vice City is just right up my alley. It is so great, and we'll talk about all the new things that introduce later on when it comes to vehicles and stuff like that also go into the setting of Vice City. But overall, I mean, when you are in the game and it hits around 5 or 6 o'clock p.m. and the sun is setting, or the same thing in the morning when the sun is rising, I mean, I don't think I've seen, at least it's hard to think of a better looking sunrise and sunset in any game. This game has a fantastic just look to it. It still holds up visually, even with the definitive edition. And like I said, I've gone back and looked at gameplay of the original. It still holds up. The way that the weather changes, you'll get some rain going, some huge thunderstorms like you would see in Miami, and it does a fantastic job of making you feel like there's a actual real thunderstorm happening. The rain looks great, the thunder sounds great, and the lightning. Everything comes together with the setting of Vice City and the open world. We'll talk about the activities that you can do in the open world in a second, but the setting itself, Vice City, I loved Vice City's setting, and I can't wait to go back to it in GTA 6. If they're even able to just nail it exactly as they did with GTA Vice City in GTA 6, I'd be happy. Obviously, I'm hoping for a lot more. Technology has improved greatly in the 24 years that there's going to be with a gap in between Vice City and GTA 6. So we should have a lot more out of this setting, but I don't think, I could be wrong, I know San Andreas has a great setting as well, and then GTA 4 goes back to Liberty City. Who knows? Maybe it'll just keep getting better and better with the setting, but for my personal preference, I would be shocked if either of those two games are able to capture a setting that works for me as well as Vice City does. Fantastic setting. I loved being in Vice City. It was a great time and I loved it. So bouncing off of talking about the open world and the setting in Vice City, I want to talk about the activities. What can you get up to in GTA Vice City? There's some things that return from GTA 3, but there's a lot of things that are new introduced to GTA Vice City. The first thing that you'll notice, and this is kind of part of the story, but I'll talk about it here and I'll probably talk about it again when we get to the story part of the video, is the fact that you can basically build up an empire. You can buy businesses, properties, assets. It's really cool that I knew this was in this game. I knew it was something that was introduced. I just didn't know to what scale. And it's almost like what you see in GTA Online. You can go around and buy a taxi business, and to get that taxi business to the point where it's making you passive money, you have to do basically setup missions. Do a couple missions, pretty easy, pretty straightforward to get that set up, and then that is going to be making you passive income while also giving you a free access to a taxi, even though they're all over the place. But there you go, you have free access to a taxi. There's other places like an ice cream factory where you're distributing goods. That can make you money as well. You are able to buy like an auto show, which you can get access to cars as you progress through it. And the way to get your money starting to go from that is by doing the import-export list and going around and finding the list of cars. And it gets, at least for me, it got me super familiar with what names went with what cars, and it was doing a great job of immersing myself in that, and you know, finding cheetahs and comets and all the cars, sentinels, all these cars that, you know, I knew were in the game, I've heard of. Now I can put basically a face to a name by doing that. In the process of doing that, you are getting your business to the point where it's making you passive income. And although it does seem pretty simple, it's a great way of getting you in a rhythm and getting you immersed. You might go and do a couple of things throughout an in-game day, and at the end of that in-game day, you might be like, oh, okay, well now it's time for me to go and stop by all my businesses and collect my money, so that way I can just make thousands of dollars every single day. It's a lot of fun, very addicting. Like I said, very simple, but it's done in a great way to where you're building an empire. You are building up all these businesses, all these assets to where you're making thousands of dollars a day, and it's a lot of fun to get immersed in that. Not only can you buy businesses, you can buy properties around. I think there's like 7 or 8 around Vice City, and you know, they range from, I think the cheapest one is like a shack on top of a building that's just like $1,000 or something really cheap like that, and it gets to the point where you can buy straight up, you know, mansions. Very cool there. Nothing like crazy with the properties when it comes to immersion. You can't like walk around inside these properties, but you can save at these properties. So they're basically like save points. You can I think when you save, off the top of my head, I believe it advances time a little bit. So if you really wanted to get immersed in it, you know, you could quote unquote go to sleep, save at these properties, and start your day over. But these are all around the city, and they're another way to feel like you're progressing and building that empire. You have properties all around the city, you have businesses all around the city. It's a lot of fun to mess with in Vice City. I think they pull it off in a great way. Like I said, going into Vice City, I knew this was a new feature. I just didn't know to what extent it went to, but it feels very reminiscent, at least with the business side of it, to what we see in a modern GTA Online. Obviously, the properties in GTA 5, GTA Online, they get a lot more, expanded. You can go inside, but this is a great starting point, and I can't wait to see if San Andreas, I believe it has the same system, maybe, how it expands on that. Can't wait to see that. It's a great system, and it's the base of what you're going to be doing in Vice City, but there's other things as well to do, like you'll see, just like in GTA 3, it's coming back. It's the kind of paramedic missions. I'm not sure entirely what they're called off the top of my head. I got the emergency services, like, still in the ambulance and going around and starting the sub mission, the paramedic, and it gives you people to go and save and bring to the hospital, and you can keep doing that and level up and get to paramedic level 12. Same thing with the firefighter. Hop in a fire truck, it'll tell you where to go. There might be a burning car in the middle of the street, or a car that's for some reason still moving while it's on fire, and then the people inside are still on fire, so you have to put them out as well. And then the vigilante missions with the cop cars, it gives you people to go and track down and kill, and you keep doing that. What I didn't know, I'm not sure if this was a thing in the third game in GTA 3, but when you do paramedic level 12, firefighter 12, vigilante 12, you get permanent stat boost. I did not know that, and I still didn't do it in GTA 3. I'm not planning on doing it in Vice City, but it is something to go and do. You get permanent stat boost, like increased health or armor. I think that's really cool. It gives you an incentive to go and do those. You can do deliveries, pizza deliveries, because there's a pizza boy in this game, so you can hop on a scooter, go deliver some pizzas, hop in a taxi, drive around the city, pick people up, take them to where they want to go. A lot of really cool things in Vice City to go and do, even from things like small things to where this isn't really an activity, but there are certain outfits that you can unlock through the game and certain points that you can go to in the city to be able to equip that outfit, so that's something new. Motorcycles are a new thing that are in this game, which is a great way to fit the aesthetic and the feel of Vice City. Motorcycles just kind of feel like Vice City. So you have motorbikes, but then you have like you have like your choppers. You have different kinds of bikes, which is really cool. You can also go, and there's the hidden packages again. There's like mini games, like there was an achievement I had to go and do for I think it was called Keepy Uppy at the beach, where you just try to, hit the ball up consistently and you get score from that. There was an achievement for that. So there's all sorts of things you can go and do. You can rob stores, which is something I don't think you could do in GTA 3, which I didn't even know about until I was already, I set the controller down and said I was done with Vice City. I looked through the stat menu and saw that there were 15 stores to go and rob. So there's even that as well, and there's probably other things that I haven't even talked about in this section. There's a lot to do in Vice City. It is awesome. It keeps you entertained. Being able to build your empire up with businesses and properties is a great new addition, and they do it in a great way. It feels great. And then there's all the things that you come to expect bouncing off of GTA 3, but then there's new things added in there as well. So there's a lot to do in GTA Vice City. It keeps you entertained throughout the entire runtime. Even after you finish the story, there's still missions to go and do, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But there's a lot to go and do in GTA Vice City. Now to talk about the soundtrack and the radio in Vice City. In GTA 3, I thought that the soundtrack was good. There weren't a lot of songs, if any, off the top of my head, that I could remember from that game. Obviously, they're all licensed songs, but I don't remember any songs off the top of my head that were in GTA 3 on the radio that were songs that I already knew going into the game. Vice City, on the other hand, has a lot of great licensed songs and I think it fits all genres. You know, I'm more of a rock and metal guy. You know, there's some pop in there, some rap in there that I like, but for the most part, I was definitely sticking to the V-Rock radio. But I would bounce around, and there's some songs that I would listen to on every radio. You know, you have artists like Run DMC, and then on the rock radio, a bunch of good stuff like Twisted Sister, I Wanna Rock, Ozzy Osbourne, Iron Maiden. There are some songs which kind of sucks about the Definitive Edition that aren't in this version of the game. They couldn't get it licensed once again. So something like Billie Jean, Michael Jackson, was in the original, is not in the Definitive Edition of the game. Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon actually isn't in the game either, but you still have a lot of good stuff like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Slayer, Anthrax, Megadeth, all from the rock radio. And you even go down and you can listen to Toto Africa. You can listen to, you know, Flock of Seagulls, I Ran So Far Away. There's a lot of really good licensed songs, and I think there's something for everybody in this game. The soundtrack fits the vibe of Vice City, and it makes me so excited and a little nervous, but very hopeful that Rockstar can nail that 80s feeling to the soundtrack again. I think GTA 5 had a great licensed soundtrack, so I have faith that they can pull it off again with 6, but they have to hit that 80s feel, and I definitely think they did here with Vice City. And also the radio. The radio itself, when it comes to the commercials, that was something that really surprised me about GTA 3. GTA 3 had really great commercials, and there are also talk radios once again in Vice City like there were in GTA 3. GTA 3, I listened to the talk radio a lot. There were some really good conversations and writing and dialogue in the commercials and the talk radios in 3, and it's the exact same thing in Vice City. They somehow did it again. Just the kind of commercials that you would come to expect from GTA, just crazy out-of-pocket conversations that are happening on the radio. It's a lot of fun to listen to, and it definitely keeps you entertained in between songs. It makes it, again, feel like you're immersed in Vice City, driving around in a car in Miami, listening to the radio, and in between songs, you have commercials, and each radio station has its own host. It's a lot of fun to listen to, and again, they did a great job. They pulled it off once again, and there's a lot of fun conversations that happen on the radio stations in Vice City.
Flowers. That's not rock and roll, man. Rock and roll's a lifestyle. You gotta live it, you gotta know it. You don't know a damn thing about music. Twisted Sister, I Wanna Rock. I can't I help me. Autograph, turn up the radio. You're talking about me, man. Turn up the radio. Turn up Cousin Ed. What's the mascot's name for Iron Maiden? Do you know? Give me a clue.
Listen, dude, first off, Cousin Ed is a really weak radio name. What are you, like a redneck?
What do you do? Let me ask you about high school. You were in the high school band?
No.
You were in the band, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, while you were learning the Star Spangled Banner, I was in the garage drumming to Def Leppard songs.
Listen, I know who the mascot for Iron Maiden is.
Who?
It's a puppy.
No, his name's Eddie. Cousin Eddie. Where do you think it came from? Cousin Ed, Eddie, Iron Maiden. Put 2 and 2 together, my friend.
Listen, that was old rock. This is new rock, man. You gotta step aside.
New rock? I don't even use the playlist. You probably have a playlist. I rolled mine into a big fatty and smoked it.
Listen, I'm a rock station DJ, okay? Let's get some rock served up. This is V-Rock.
So now I want to talk about the gameplay and the mission design and combine both into one section of the video. The gameplay is pretty similar to what you see in any GTA game, but especially coming from GTA 3, it is a lot of the same. You obviously have more weapons to mess with, which is a lot of fun. Going from, I don't even really remember the weapons in GTA 3, but you know there's definitely more weapons in this game to mess with and go and buy. And as you progress, you'll unlock new weapons to go and find from ammunitions. And you can even buy melee weapons, which I don't think was a thing you could do in GTA 3. There's like basically hardware stores where you can go and buy melee weapons. Not something I utilized a whole lot, but it is something new. And it's the same thing with all the vehicles. The vehicles still feel really, really good, just like they did in GTA 3. The driving feels great in this game. All cars have a unique feel to them. Obviously, they look different, but they also have a unique feel to them as well. The driving feels great. It's your standard gameplay when it comes to GTA, where you'll pull out a gun, and when you go to aim at someone that is an enemy, it'll auto-lock onto them. Definitely not as frustrating in my experience when it comes to Vice City versus GTA 3. There were a lot of frustrating moments in GTA 3. I'm not really sure how they did it when it comes to fixing really the issue I had with GTA 3. One of the big ones was the mission design. There was a lot of frustrating missions in that game, and Vice City, there was only, I would say, one for sure off the top of my head that I had a lot of issues with. But, you know, there's really only a handful, like maybe 2 or 3, and I couldn't really even tell you, you know, besides that one glaring one, what the other ones were. But I'm sure there were 2 or 3 that were a little frustrating, but definitely not to the level of GTA 3. You still have it to where if you're almost at the end of a mission and you fail it or you die, you do have to start all the way over. So that is something that, you know, that's old school. That was something that, like I said, I didn't really have too much of an issue with in Vice City. The missions were definitely a lot more fun, a lot more manageable. So that was a good upgrade. I did not have as many frustrations as I did with GTA 3's mission design. So they've definitely improved on that. The mission design is a lot better. And the missions are a lot of fun. I will get into what the story part of it is in the story part of the video, but there's a lot of missions to go and do, a lot more than in GTA 3. I think there were more story missions in GTA 3, I do believe, but in this game there are like side missions to go and do with different gangs or just kind of groups that you can go and tackle. So that's a lot of fun to, you know, if you don't want to just mainline the main story, you have side stories basically to go and do, where there's one where you're helping out a band. They end up getting like a stalker and you have to protect them from that. There's a lot of cool things there. There's one group, I don't remember what they're called off the top of my head, but you have to go and they're like based at a diner and you have to go and do like driving missions, I think, something like that. I'm kind of ballparking it off the top of my head because it's been a minute since I've done those, but there's a good variety of side missions as well, and these continue, like even with, like I talked about with the businesses, those missions as well. So there's a lot of missions to go and do, a lot of things to keep your attention going, like we talked about with the activities. There's a lot to go and do, and with the improvements to the mission design, the gameplay is a lot of the same. Like I said, it's not nearly as frustrating, and I couldn't really tell you why it's not as frustrating, but it does feel a lot of the same compared to GTA 3 just from a gameplay perspective, but the mission design is a lot better. So that was something that I was very glad to see that they improved on when it came to that part of it, because I had a lot of problems with that in GTA 3, but in Vice City it's a lot better. So the gameplay, it's still fun. It's not like, you know, world class or anything like that, but it gets the job done. It still does feel good to play. Use different weapons, they all have a feel to them. But the mission design being improved in a big way, not nearly as many frustrating missions as there was in GTA 3, was a big plus for me. And the last thing we'll talk about is the story. The two big things that were issues for me in GTA 3 were the mission design, which has been improved in Vice City, and the story. I did not really enjoy the story in GTA 3 all that much. The protagonist was silent, and that was definitely a curveball to it. I did not think I was going into it with a silent protagonist, and in GTA, it just doesn't really work. I know it was GTA 3, it was the first game of its kind to do what it was doing. Story-wise in GTA 3, just not all that great. It was okay, but in Vice City, it's a lot better. Now, it's not the best story in the GTA series. I'd still say, like, out of what I've played, 5 is probably better, but it's a big improvement over GTA 3's story. And first and foremost, you have a voiced protagonist, and not only is he voiced, he's voiced by Ray Liotta. Tommy Vercetti is a great protagonist. I loved playing as Tommy, and Ray Liotta does a great job of portraying him in a way that fits the vibe of Vice City. Not only Ray Liotta being one of the voice actors, there's a lot of celebrity voice actors in Vice City. I know there were some in GTA 3, like Michael Madsen was a character. I think he played Tony, I believe, in that game. And GTA 3 did have good side characters. It had solid side characters, but all the ones you meet in Vice City, I think, are much improved. You have people like Burt Reynolds, Danny Trejo, Gary Busey. Even if you're an NFL fan, Lawrence Taylor, I didn't know this until I was doing research for this, plays a side character as well. And there's other ones thrown in there as well. A lot of big names playing characters in Vice City. So that's a big one. The voice actors kill it with the roles that they have, and the writing is a lot of fun as well. There's some great writing moments, what you would expect in GTA Vice City, just some crazy out-of-pocket things that are said, and it's a lot of fun to listen to and witness.
Hey Tommy, it's Sonny. How's the suntan?
I ain't got no suntan.
We ain't got my money either, so I'm one of them myself. What are you doing? So tell me, Tommy, what are you doing?
I'm looking for the money, Sonny. Don't worry.
I am worrying, Tommy. That's style, because I seem to have this problem in my life with unreliable people. Don't be an unreliable person, Tommy, please. Do us both a favor. I'm looking forward to hearing from you.
Guys,
I understand. Help the jury change their minds. Don't worry about it.
No! I tried that. The jury case didn't go so well. So make them change their minds.
Dumb Florida moron.
Who are you?
Your new owner.
Were you now or at any time a child?
What are you talking about?
Were you a
Yes,
child?
calm down.
I
What's wrong
knew
with
it. A child. A dirty, stinking, sniveling, snotting, vile, puking, crying little baby. A baby! An awful, horrible, disgusting little boo-hoo. Mommy doesn't love you. You little shit.
Ow, calm down.
So I'll do a very quick plot premise. I'm not really interested in going into story spoilers because there's not really anything crazy going on here. Like I said, it's a good story. It is a good story, especially compared to GTA 3. It's much improved, but I don't really see any point in going into story spoilers. I mean, the game's been out for long enough. I still don't like doing spoilers when it comes to these older videos because, you know, you could say, oh, it's been out for, 24 years, but here I am, I'm playing it for the first time. I would hate to have had spoilers going into it, so I'm not going to do any spoilers. We'll do a quick plot premise. We'll talk about the plot without talking about any spoilers. So, in 1986, Tommy Vercetti is released from prison after serving a 15-year sentence for murder. His boss, Sonny Forelli, seeking to establish drug operations in the South, sends Tommy to Vice City to oversee an important drug deal alongside crooked lawyer Ken Rosenberg. However, the deal is ambushed by unknown assailants, with Tommy and Ken barely escaping. An infuriated Sonny orders Tommy to recover the drugs alongside the money that Sonny gave to him under threat of consequences. And this is what starts off the story of Vice City. Tommy is tasked with getting the money back for Sonny, and this turns into, like we see, like I talked about in the activities part of the video, Tommy slowly but surely doing his own thing and building up his empire. And you can kind of see where the story goes from there, but it is a good plot premise, and it sets off a journey to where you see Tommy, go from a yes man to the boss, and that's a really cool journey to go on. Like I said, the story's good. It's not, I think GTA 5 story is better, but I think it just comes with time. I know San Andreas, from what I've heard, I don't know anything about the story in that game, but I do know that the story in that game takes a lot more of the forefront. It's a lot more in your face in San Andreas. So I think this is just them experimenting. You go from 3 and it's not really all there with the story. And then Vice City, we're getting there. It's definitely good. There's a lot of great moments. And like I said, great side characters as well. I did really enjoy the story in Vice City. Even if it's nothing crazy or out of this world, I still had a lot of fun with it, and it was entertaining throughout. I want to say it took me somewhere in the range of 15 to 17 hours, so it's not a very long story, especially when it comes to GTA. And then at the end of my playthrough, putting down the controller, after doing some more side activities after finishing the story, I was at 20 hours. And I definitely plan on going back, just like I would be willing to go back to GTA 3 just to drive around the city and experience that again. But when it comes to Vice City, it would be more of, you know, getting back in the swing of things. After a while, going back and doing businesses, doing some races, just having fun in Vice City. So even though the 20 hours is what I put in, and I'm going to put the controller down and move on to the next thing, I definitely will be going back to Vice City. I had a lot of fun with it. The story is good in Vice City. I could even say great. You know, it's on the brink of great, and I would not be against if someone said, "Oh, this game has a great story." It does. I think it, in some ways, it does. I think we're getting there with GTAs. I think San Andreas, from what I've heard, is going to bring up the story in a much bigger way, and I'm very excited to get to there. But my two biggest complaints in GTA 3 have been addressed in Vice City. The mission design is a lot better, and the story is a lot better as well. So Vice City, we'll talk about it in a second just to wrap things up, but I loved my time with Vice City. So that is going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching, hanging out, talking about GTA Vice City. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think about Vice City? Have you played it? I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, have. But let me know what you think about the game now in 2026. We are a couple months out, hopefully, from GTA 6. We're going to return to Vice City for the first time since 2002. I think maybe technically that's not right because you've had like Vice City stories afterwards, something like that. But when we're talking mainline games, it's been a long time since we've been to Vice City. So I feel like this is a perfect game to jump ahead of GTA 6 and play because we're going back to Vice City. And I want to continue my GTA journey. We are about 6 months away as of recording this video from GTA 6. So my GTA journey is going to have to speed up a lot more. I did GTA 3 last year, I think it was July, and now we're in May and I'm doing Vice City. I still have to get through the biggest games in the franchise with San Andreas and 4 before GTA 6 comes out. So expect to see, not like crazy fast or anything like that, but I definitely want to get to San Andreas and 4 before 6 comes out, and I'm super excited to play through those games. I've heard so many good things about both. Most people have San Andreas or 4 at the top of their list when it comes to ranking all the GTA games, and I cannot wait to see if those games hold up, especially San Andreas hold up as well as I've heard that they do. I loved Vice City, if you couldn't tell. I had a lot of fun with it. Really no major complaints at all throughout my playthrough. I love Vice City as a setting, and I cannot wait to come back to it in GTA 6, and I really hope they nail it. I cannot wait. So that's going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I'll talk to you later.